Due to its semi-flex nib, the Namiki Falcon is a fairly popular pen. Disassembling it is not as straightforward as with some other pens. Unscrew the cap, take it off, and unscrew the barrel. If necessary, post the barrel in the cap for easy storage. The converter can be taken out and is relatively easy to take apart in some cases. In other cases it's much more difficult. In this one it's very easy. The metal bit just slides off, although there is a thread. In many of the later models this is actually glued together. You could use a heat gun or a hair dryer to make that glue a little bit soft, but in all honesty I would only disassemble this when it is absolutely necessary. Well, this one was disassembled a lot and the threads have actually loosed a bit of their purchase, making it very easy to just take this apart. In fact, it's a little too easy. The piston can be taken out and a little bit of silicone grease can be applied to the seal. The whole piston can be removed and silicone grease can be put in the threads to ensure smooth operation. The little ring here should not be lost, otherwise the converter cannot be put back together again. If we zoom in a bit, you may be able to see that there are little notches right there, and this little ring should fit right between them. When that is put back together, grab the turning knob, screw it back in place about halfway through, and take the metal ring, which can be put back in there. As you can see, the glue here is disintegrating. Pretty much any maintenance can be done because of this wide opening. Put a little bit of silicone grease on a Q-tip and stick it in there. That will make it easy to lubricate the piston from the inside. Then we have this section. The nib and feed are friction fit, but taking them out, especially the first time, can be a daunting task. In such a case, it's a good idea to use a punch-out block like this, which just has holes you can put the nib and feed into. Make sure that the hole is not so big that the entire section will slide in. I find it easy to use a little metal ring. This way the section will not be pushed into the block of wood. As you may see right in there, I shall use a flashlight to show you a bit better. As you can see, the feed is right in there, and it should be easy to push it out with a punch. A very nice punch is made and can be found on this Leatherman nut. It can be screwed off. Then make sure you put the punch on the feed, not on the little ridge surrounding it, because then you will damage your pen. Once you are sure it is on the feed, grab a heavy object like the hammer built into the Leatherman nut and carefully knock down. As you can see, this was enough to push out the nib and feed, and if we push further with the punch, the two are separated completely. The nib and feed can now be cleaned properly, and once you are done, put them back in there and note how the nib slides in place on the feed. Then make sure you align the nib and feed properly along with the section. Note the slightly wider cutout bit on the top of the section. That's where the nib and feed slip in. Once you've knocked out the nib properly one time like this, it's probably possible to pull them out just with your fingers, but if not, use a punch again. When you are done with your maintenance, put the converter back in there. Screw the barrel back in place and cap the pen. Now you are done and can have yourself some haggis.